God is good, and with each day that passes brings us a day closer to the launch of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. This is the Nathan NAPALM Channel, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing, especially if you're interested in Pantheon-related content on our march to launch. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about PreAlpha 5, which as of the time of this recording is coming super soon, and we're going to be announcing when that is, what it's all about, and all the information we got from the devs from the newest July 2020 update. Before I get started though, I want to give a big shout out to the members of Napalm for keeping my lights on and keeping this channel ticking. And if you're interested in becoming a member of Napalm, then please click the join button down below for more information of different packages and the perks that you get for that. Alright, so there's no better way to hear when PreAlpha 5 is going to be here than from the mouths of the devs themselves. So I'm going to play a quick clip of that real quick.
You'll be glad to know that next week we will be announcing the actual date of PreAlpha 5 Shakeout. So expect to see that announcement coming out. Shortly after that, we'll be sending out, for those of you qualified, for those of you with a VIP package, we'll be sending out an email with your selection of slots, of play slots that you want to join in on. Now, in terms of the game, the build is near complete, so once the build is complete, then we're going to do a little bit of internal bug testing and squashing, or I should say testing and then bug squashing. We're going to focus on the major showstoppers first, but so anyway, all of this is happening over the next couple of weeks, so you should be able to get in game fairly soon.
So if you are a VIP member, then be sure to be checking your email that you signed up with that with, so that you can make sure that you pick which option you would like to test. And if you are not a VIP member, but you want to join in on PreAlpha 5, as of the time of this recording, it's not too late, and there's many options there, including a monthly in order to get you in for PreAlpha, Alpha, Beta, etc. If you want to help test Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, of course, you need to also understand that if you do want to join in, that PreAlpha is not an early access, okay? You're actually testing the game, okay? This isn't some thing where, you know, they're letting people in early as some kind of early access. I do expect that in PreAlpha 5, the game is going to be in probably the biggest jump from PreAlpha to PreAlpha as far as terms of how close to finish the game is. I expect it to be the biggest jump we've ever had. It's been the longest break in between PreAlphas, and with them completing Project Ferret Hell and all the accomplishments they've done, adding climbing, I mean, the game is really coming together, you can tell, as they've been progressing through it. But if you're interested in doing that, then please head to pantheonmmo.com/join, and I'll have a link for that in the description down below. Alright, now let's hear a little bit about what is this shakeout? What does that mean, right? So in terms of PreAlpha, what is a shakeout and what can we expect? Let's listen what they had to say.
I just want to reiterate what PA5 Shakeout is. Now it's consider it as a warm-up weekend. So it's going to be a lot of load testing and making sure that, you know, everything isn't collapsing, you know, smoke and sanity, making sure that we don't start any fires or set off any nukes or anything like that. And only certain features are going to be turned on for the Shakeout. So the full feature list of PreAlpha 5 proper isn't necessarily going to be available on Shakeout, but you'll still get a chance to get in there and see what's going on. Try out that Pantheon that you love so much. But again, don't confuse it with PA5 proper. It is, you know, a shorter term, and then the longer term, more open play sessions will be coming later.
So the Shakeout is a weekend test. Basically, not all the features are going to be available that will be available for the full open session, where it's more of an open play. You can probably expect to be locked to smaller areas, and of course, we're going to play the clip for it, but basically, you're also going to be limited into what class you can play, and there's a reason, there's a rhyme and reason that they want to do this, because they're probably trying to finalize those two classes down, because we've heard a lot about them in high detail. So obviously they've been locking down the abilities and everything for these two classes, which are the Dire Lord and the Shaman. So let's hear a little bit more about what to expect from the PreAlpha Shakedown, which is taking place over a weekend very soon, so we can know what to expect.
Yeah, so we're going to have two classes online for the Shakeout. It's going to be the Dire Lord and the Shaman. There's a reason for that. and there's going to be a lot that we're focusing with those 2 classes in particular. But as Ben just said, after the shakeout, we'll then move into the more focused and deeper PreAlpha 5 sessions as we work our way towards the kind of the grand open play sessions, and you will see us bringing more and more of the classes online during that period. But to start with, we're going to start with those 2 to keep it very tight and focused, and we will bring more online from there.
MCP, they'll have a large arsenal of their spell abilities.
Complete arsenal.
Yeah.
Complete arsenal.
That's one of the prerequisites and one of the points of the class play and the testing is to make sure that the classes are able to be tested with their full kits. And then as we bring more and more online, introducing not only those new...
Oh, we've got climbing coming in. So climbing will be available in PreAlpha 5 Shakeout.
Yes, it will. And it will be in even more of a polished state than you've seen it.
A lot of the work that's being done is focused around the combat system. Combat is sort of the bread and butter, the heart of any MMO, arguably. But it's what you do a lot of. Now, we've done some major work on the combat. We've touched a lot of the abilities. We've put in a new ability system that just kind of works smoother and nicer. Chris, they get to try out the new ability system.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yep. So, like we said, these classes are coming in their complete state. That's important to say because in the prior PreAlpha sessions, the classes were relatively incomplete. There were, some key abilities and some things that were just kind of in a fledgling state. And so it's really important to say that as we move into PreAlpha 5, one of the key things, our focus is on the gameplay loop and progression, and not only how the different game systems feel and work independently, but how it all flows together, the symphony of the game, the entire experience. And so a big part of that is making sure that the classes function properly and have their full kits available to them. And so that includes all the different abilities. It also includes the mastery with the abilities, and so the different mastery upgrades that you can give for each ability. So you'll really be able to get a good sense of how the classes, not only what all they have available to them, but how they grow and mature as you grow and level and acquire your full kit.
And that's not to leave out perception storylines, perception in general, along with quests. I know the team's been working hard there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Again, with perception and quests, or as we would say, the tasks where part of interacting with NPCs is going to be getting to know them, having conversations. Certain NPCs will have various tasks for you to do, which are going to be tied into the faction system largely. Faction, we've talked about faction. I think it's known that faction is going to play an important role in Pantheon.
If that doesn't get you excited, guys, I don't think anything will. That sounds like great news, especially the fact of hearing that our full set, our full arsenal of abilities for your favorite class are going to be available when the game goes into its open pre-alpha session shortly after the shakeout. I'm excited about that, right? If you've been following my channel, you know that I am a paladin. That is my chosen class in Pantheon. It's usually what I play in most MMOs, and I'm super excited to see how the paladin's coming along. Try out all these abilities, and of course, this is a game with a limited action set, so trying out different combinations in different situations and all that kind of thing, grouping up, having a blast. Can't wait. Also hearing that we are going to get to tamper around with the perception system and even with factions. That's pretty epic. Not something I really expected in pre-alpha 5. Didn't really expect to get to really dig deep into that until probably alpha. So to see that that's going to be in the game implemented and that we can dive deeper into that will be a ton of fun. Now, one thing I wish to hear, but I'm not sure I'll get to, is since we're so deep and since the game is looking so good, in my opinion, I would love to see them open up a little bit, just give us a little bit of breathing room on the NDA. right? I'd like to share certain things. Even if we have to get it pre-approved before we can share it or anything like that, I would love to be able to share some things. So we'll see. I will speak with the developers. I'll see what we can do and what can and can't be done. But it is still pre-alpha, so maybe not. Maybe not this time, right? Maybe alpha, but we'll see. I'm gonna definitely be pushing for that because I think you guys would love to see just little snippets, little sneak peeks in, or even just give me a little bit of the footage that I can use in videos as a backdrop, right? Let me have some new footage. We'll see how that goes though, but I think this is very exciting. I think it's the most exciting news, obviously, that we've had for Pantheon Rise of Fallen so far, is we know the game is much deeper into development than, I guess, kind of obviously it is, but we're just getting so close to alpha. We're getting so close to alpha, which means we're getting closer to beta, which means we're definitely a day closer to the launch of Pantheon Rise of Fallen. And guys, I hope you're as excited as I am about all this information and getting to play your favorite class. And if you are a Dire Lord or a Shaman, you have even more to be excited about, because you're going to get to try out their full abilities and everything and see them in almost their complete full glory very soon. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I hope you'll be joining us in PreAlpha 5, the greatest MMO RPG upcoming, and in my opinion, the greatest MMO of all time, Pantheon Rise of Fallen. So excited. I love Visionary Realms. I love their communication. I love everything they've done for us and how they've stuck to the vision. Have so much respect for them, because let's be honest, some of the things in Pantheon Rise of Fallen, like being non-instanced, is some of the ballsiest things anybody's done in the genre since actually inventing the genre, in my opinion, and I can't wait to get started. But guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, as I will talk more and more about Pantheon Rise of Fallen as time goes on, as we get closer, and eventually we'll be playing it together. I'll be live streaming it, I'll be posting videos and guides and who knows what all, anything my mind can conjure up. And one more thing before we close this video for the day, I do want to make a very small announcement. I'm going to make a separate video kind of explaining how I'm going to be proceeding with the channel, but I'm going to go ahead right now and give everybody who's listening to this video this far a little bit of information. So as my channel expands, thanks to the members, by the way, big shout out to them. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please click the join button down below. Thanks to support from them, I have decided to expand the channel a little bit and go into new territory. Of course, I, the Nathan NAPALM, will be focused on Pantheon Rise of Fallen and a couple of other MMOs such as Defend the Night, etc. Mainly focused on Pantheon. That will always be the core of this channel. I do expect Pantheon Rise of Fallen to outlive me, so I expect to be playing it until my final breath. However, I do want to cover other games, etc. But there does come a point in time when Pantheon's released that I won't have time to be playing other games. So what I've decided is I've hired a couple of people, and I don't want to just do this the generic way, where I have other people on my channel. You know, I don't want to do it that way. So what I would rather do is have a puppet for each type of game that I play. So basically what I'm trying to say here is there'll be a puppet to represent different types of games, etc. So I'm going to make a video explaining this in more detail, but what I'm trying to tell you is that basically I have a brand new puppet. Actually, the first puppet that I didn't make myself, that I professionally made in Spain, should be arriving today, and that will be my PvP guy, right? He's going to cover all the PvP stuff. So Dark Age of Camelot, been playing that some, so let him go ahead and dive deep in the PvP there. Any game that has PvP, I want to cover it with him. Even World of Warcraft, right? Because actually, believe it or not, that PvP scene it's addicting, right? I wouldn't say it's as robust as lots of other games, such as Dark Age of Camelot and some upcoming games, but even that game, right? So covering just PvP in general Now, it may seem like that doesn't save me any time, but the way that it's covered on the back end, it actually does. And it will allow me more time to play Pantheon when it launches, and that's something I have to prepare myself for, right? So I have a lot more free time, and I don't have much as it is right now. So to try to squeeze in playing an MMO all the time is well near impossible, at least until I get to a point where I can self-sustain with the channel, and becoming a member helps me do that, by the way. So that's where I'm at, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll have different puppets covering different things, and that way the Nathan NAPALM, can focus on Pantheon when it launches. And that's kind of the deck I'm building here for the channel, so that I can have the time to dive deep into Pantheon, bring you guys the newest information, and of course when the game comes out, be able to actually play it and dive deep so I can make good videos regarding everything Pantheon Rise and Fall, because of course I'm gonna have to stay on the cutting edge in order to bring that kind of information to you. Alright guys, that's all for today. I've blabbered on long enough. Hope you enjoyed the video today, and until next time, God bless and happy gaming.
Please listen to what I say. I've been making videos all day. My friends all say I'm it's a video buffet. You can even hit replay. But please just subscribe. I can't even describe being part of my tribe. I'll even offer you a prize. But just please just subscribe and hit the bell notification too.